Back like we never left. BDA. What is up, guys? I mean, who else? This is a quick discussion, right? This is the One Piece 799 aftermath. Okay, that's what I'm calling it. I've been thinking about this for a while. Okay, let me be. Okay, let me be. We have so much to talk about, right? And we have a lot of time because it's on break next week. First thing, what's going to be the structure of this whole crew? Okay, because I did a live reaction with it. I will put it here, and I basically gave you how I felt at the time, but I've had time to think about things and to settle down. So now let's really think about things logically. Okay, let's do that. Sometimes live reactions, they're off emotion and you're just basically just spitting things out like right at face value. So let's look at things logically. Luffy, he could say no, right? Based on Luffy's personality and what we've seen in the past, he's not that type of guy that just wants people to follow him. He wants to do his own thing, and he wants to do it with his Nakama. Now, I think even if he says no, they're still going to follow him, or Zoro, Usopp, whoever's there is going to convince him, like, you know what, this is probably a good idea. But I think Luffy is like, alright, whatever, I don't care, basically. I think that's what the response is going to be. But now, this whole setup, okay? With Whitebeard, he had his commanders, and his commanders had their own thing. So with Luffy, I don't see his crew being separated, okay? If it gets to that point, someone mentioned the fact that what if instead of a time skip, not Luffy, because Luffy doesn't do these type of things, someone on the Straw Hats, who will be the coordinator, assigns the main crew to different ships, right? And they will separate for a year or two to go and explore the new world with their ship, right? And then they come together after 2 years, obviously more powerful, more experienced, because they would have been the captain of their own ships for 2 years. Now, the thing with that, I don't see Luffy being away from his friends for 2 more years unless something tragic happens, right? Where a Straw Hat dies or something tragic has to happen for Luffy to say, okay, we just got back together, but let's take 2 more years apart. I don't see that happening. And the thing with them being separated too, like, what if Nami has her own thing, right? Or Usopp? What is stopping some beast from the new world from just dismantling Usopp and his crew? And his semi-crew, because that's not the main Straw Hat crew, because it's going to be limited, right? So I don't think they should be separated like that. But it was a great theory, I think. Another thing is they're just going to be assigned to the islands, right? I mentioned that in the live reaction that Luffy, I'm saying Luffy because he's the captain, but I know he's not going to be the one doing this. Luffy assigns them to different territory. Alabasta, that's going to be Luffy's territory. Dressrosa is going to be Luffy's territory. Fishman Island, assign someone there, and that's what it's going to be. And then when they need the whole crew, they meet back up or whatever. They have their strategic meetings, all that good stuff. And I think that will be good. But I don't think Luffy wants to be separated from his crew again. Like, he lost his brother, Sabo's there now, but he wants to be with his crew. So I think the current structure, the main Straw Hats, the Nakama, they're going to stay on the main ship. And the subsidiaries, right, they're going to be below Luffy. They're going to be not following him around. That's not going to happen, because they're still going to be the captains of their own ship, but they're just on the Straw Hat flagship, the rankings. Since they have all these alliances and all these people are part of the crew now, does Frankie's family, are they included? I'm like, well, I guess they have to be, right? Because they're part of Frankie's crew. So I guess we have some more allies that we forgot about. The strength thing. At this point, Luffy cannot beat an admiral. He cannot defeat an admiral. To the best of our knowledge and the inferences we can make based on the data and what we've seen, Luffy cannot defeat an admiral. Aokiji and Akainu fought for 10 days. Luffy can maintain Gear 4 maybe 20 minutes. Then he needs a break. He's not ready for an admiral. So this whole Yonko talk, I said that, but I was high off One Piece, high off that drug called One Piece, son. That's not gonna happen. Okay, he needs, I think, at least 5 more years. 5 more years to get to a point where he can compete with the Yonko. I'm talking about mastering Haki, so he's not running out of it, getting more acclimated with his devil fruit. Luffy has taken leaps and bounds with his devil fruit, and from what the base thing was, his pistol that took him so long to learn to Gear 4, he's definitely mastering his devil fruit. But I would like to see him have different variances to the Gear 4, and probably have, Bound Man, have probably a Speed Man, a Power Man. The Bound Man is probably the powerful one, but have a more sleek look. Gear 4 was great, but I wasn't a fan of how it looked. Okay, let me rephrase that. I wasn't too excited about how it looked. Okay, it was hype. Don't get me. It was hype, but I felt like it looked quirky. It looked odd, but then it fit Luffy because that's what he is. But I would like something more sleek, more appealing to the eyes, right? That's me being selfish. I don't care. Fujitora mentions that Luffy is going to be chased by these Yonko now, okay? And I believe that this is a domino. Luffy beating Doffy was just a domino, right? And then that domino effect, okay? Kaido is not going to be the only one coming after Luffy. It's going to be Kaido and all the Doflamingo's clients. Luffy messed up their money. Like, Luffy's messing up their money, bro. That's not cool. So Luffy at this point, he needs these bodies, okay? He needs these guys under him. Like Cavendish, like I mentioned, he's a very strong pirate. Like Cavendish is probably on Sanji and Zoro's level. Yes, he is. So Cavendish is up there. Sai, he inherited, that thing from Don Chinjiao, and so they've definitely gained some great allies. The next Straw Hat. I count these new guys, they're Straw Hats, I guess, but they weren't invited. They kind of invited themselves, right? They weren't the typical Luffy asks, hey, do you want to join my crew? Yes, I accept. It wasn't that. It was basically, hey, we did this about lottery and we want to be your follower. That's, and it's like, it's not the typical thing that we see. So I believe we're going to see that this arc. And the two people that weren't mentioned at all in this chapter 799, Law and Bellamy. Okay? That means Law is going to still be doing his own thing. Law is not going to be under Luffy. Law is going to have his own thing. So Law is out. He's still going to be, I guess, kind of cool with Luffy, but he's not going to be like, okay, I'm working on the Straw Hat Luffy. No, that's not happening. Bellamy, he's either going to join Luffy's crew, which I strongly think is going to happen, and I hope Luffy works with him with his spring fruit, and Bellamy could be top 5 in the crew easily, because his fruit has a lot of potential, but we'll touch on that in another video. Law's crew, because of Law's comment where he's like, I'd be more than happy to kill you, it's like that kind of, I don't know why, but it kind of tells me that, okay, because Law said that, I see Bellamy going to Law's crew. I don't know, it's weird, but I just feel that way. It's kind of one of those weird things with anime where it's like, if something's that obvious that it's not going to happen, it probably is going to happen. So that's how I felt about that. But yeah, those are my initial thoughts after the chapter. And Fuji going blind. Like, Fuji took his own eyes. So Fuji, he's honorable, he's noble, and the fact that someone would take their own eyesight, just think about this. What would be the cause for you individually to take your sight? I can't think of anything that would make me take my sight, but hey, Fuji's a different guy, he's a different breed. Clearly you know, and it's been great. So $7.99, it was awesome, and you know, we're looking forward to 800. So also, what can we expect from 800? Like I said, I expect a new Straw Hat to be revealed, or a death to be revealed, or somebody incoming. That's the only thing that can really top what we saw. I mean, a Straw Hat being revealed, I guess it kind of want to have the same effect now because of all these Straw Hats that we receive, but that's something that I see could probably top that. If we flash to Kid and going against Kaido, and Apu and Hawkins are knocked out, and Kid's just standing there like, oh shit, what did I get myself into? That would be hype. If we cut to Shanks meeting up with Blackbeard, that would be hype. It's a lot of things that could top it. Every time Oda gets a week off, he comes back with that fire. He comes back with that fire, son. So let's expect greatness. You know, I will release another video around One Piece next week when the chapter's supposed to come out, because you know we need something you know, curb our enthusiasm during that time. Okay, so we're gonna get some something about One Piece next week. But yeah, those are my thoughts about it, yo. That's the aftermath about the chapter. So you know, like the video if you did, comment, let me know what you think is gonna happen. Like I want to know, because a lot of people think differently, and a lot of people have a lot better ideas than me, so I want to hear those ideas. So let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe so we can, you know, stay in contact, go back and forth, all that good stuff, man. And have a great day as well.